started really getting into sport later on. And now you got people like Clarissa Shields. I know you met her before, and so many other women in this fight game.
Yeah. Women's always been there somehow, always trying to make the statement, but it never was really like the big opportunity to like just showcase that. Thank God we never give up in our dream that we can do that too. And like Anne Wolf, Kristen Martin, all these old ladies from the old times, like thanks to them too, we here. They didn't give up on it. This is
Yeah.
very important.
So, what was that experience like? You said you love the blood, you love the guts, and like especially with your family, dealing with them, you get into something like especially for Uruguay, this is very traditional. I just interviewed a lady who's a bodybuilder from Mexico. I've interviewed ladies from Chile, other countries where traditionally a sport like boxing is very considered very masculine.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. I do remember. Always was that challenge, even for sparring, I was always hungry. Like, I was 11, 12, 13, 14, and like, come on, I want to fight. And that never happened. I actually did my first fight when I was almost 16 years old. My first amateur fight. And took me like 4 or 5 years together. And it's just punch in the back, and like starving for fight, and it never happened. Like I have such a long period of time waiting for it. And actually I got there, I did 43 amateur fights, and now I'm being in the pros for the last 3 years. So it's such a different game. Um can you imagine I trained for 10 years to just get in a professional stage? It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen just fast. I really trained for more than a decade to be there. I prepare myself for it. Like if I lose, it's because that person is real better than me,
Mm.
and technically smart, strong. But I have all that. I'm being training all that already for so long. So when it's time to show, it's time to show. I love that part.
Yeah, because you can be in the amateurs for a long time. I think with men, if they see something talented about you, they want to scoop you up real quick. But women, there's a lot of hesitation
Hmm.
because one thing is like with women's boxing matches, it's 2 minutes. You
Hmm.
have 2 minutes to do a lot of work, where guys
Hmm.
have 3 minutes. And I think sometimes I've seen fights where that extra minute can make a difference between maybe a decision or a knockout.
Hmm. Yes, that's truth. Um, Actually, in the league that I'm fighting, the first 2 years, we women was fighting 2 rounds, 2 minutes, sorry. But this year we fight in 3 minutes. We got this equality, with men. So everybody fight 3 minutes round. But actually, in the real pro, yeah, it's just 2 minutes. It's such a short time that for sure, show how smart you are, how fast you are, and what game plan you have. Because some women fight 10 rounds, 2 minutes, you say, oh, it goes so fast, but sometimes they don't even do enough. So like, what could be that extra minute? We saw a couple fights from women's, 3 minutes, and was actually kind of bored. I actually believe that 3 rounds, 3 minutes rounds should be something like world title, unification, and disputed world championships. The rest should be like 2 minutes. But okay, you want to fight for the championship? Okay, you fight 3 minutes. Because you have to showcase what your skills are and what you there for. Um, but actually, it does make a big difference. The 3 minutes, it
Mm.
does. You have to stay busy. You have to stay busy. If not, you see 3 minutes go and probably 1 minute and a half, nobody punch. It happens.
Just a lot of hugging and holding, and then you're
Yeah,
saying, yeah, yeah,
and
like,
watch each other like
yeah,
you're gonna punch.
yeah.
You're gonna watch yourself.
You're going to say, "Come on!" Like you're like, "Come on!" Like trying to carry the line for the from Wizard of Oz. Come on, put him up, put him up, put him up. I mean, that's the thing. I think that's one thing I think people feel about women fighting because it can be a little bit somber. But I've seen
Mhm,
guys fights that just is somber. It's all
mhm,
about the fighters if they have the energy
mhm,
and the ability. So
mhm.
now your organization you work for, what's the name of it, and what class you're in right now?
I'm in the super featherweight division. 126 to 130. The league that I'm fighting, how we fight team versus team, city versus city, and we have 24 rounds to fight. There, we never know what can happen, so sometimes I go up and down in weight. So I'm 126, and maybe in 2 weeks they need me at 140. So I have to eat, train right, so I can get 140. But maybe in 2 weeks later, I have to drop to 130 again. So I have to be very responsible with my training, with my meal, especially because mentally, it's hard. It's very hard. So you have to be able to feel comfortable in all this discomfort that is cutting weight, training hard, staying in a camp, and then knowing that you have to fight with no protections and with small gloves. It's a huge difference. It's a huge
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, because I think one thing, weight cut can be very vicious for a woman's body because women are built different from men. Men, we are, even though I'm not that naturally lean like I used to be when I was younger, but men have the ability because their bodies can gain muscle. Women, you are like very more soft, very more feminine. And I
Mhm.
think also, as I do bodybuilding content, you can't be under a certain weight percentage. If your BMI for women is below and in between, I would say 10 to 7%, that's kind of like a danger zone for you. And sometimes you can get
Mhm.
sick, some things can happen. You can do a lot
You
more
get
damage
weak.
to your body. Yeah, yeah. So that's why you have to have a good steady diet. I think it's better to, especially if sometimes some fighters will have a, like if a fighter drops out, you're gonna have to jump in and do a quick weight cut to fight somebody, and that's crazy. Here we got my man K L the Wonder coming through. He says, "What's up? What's up, brother?" Also, he's a question says, do you hit the speed back to a
A
lot?
lot. Well, in the other gym that I used to, but I switched gyms right now. And I don't do much the speed bike, but I actually love the speed bike. And I'm good at it too.
Yeah, and the speed bag is very important. It's like it takes your
It's very
reactions at
mental.
times. Yeah, it's just like it's like watching. If you watch those old Rocky Balboa movies, where Rocky going like just those are the great movies, that classics. Here we got my man. He says this. He says, "Where are you from, my dear?" Well, she is from Uruguay. Where specifically is your city you were from originally?
Uruguay is border with Brazil and Argentina. Really down in South America. Our first language is Spanish. I was born in the capital called Montevideo, but I was raised in the border with Brazil. So my native language is Spanish and Portuguese.
This combination. I mean, one thing is
Exotic combination.
yeah, because like I've interviewed some ladies who are fighters that come from Brazil because one of the biggest fight games is MMA. Mixed martial
Hmm.
arts is very popular. It's come from Brazil. BJJ. I remember back in the day where the guys who were real big time fight fans, they didn't like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Call it BJJJ, Brazilian blowjob. I
BJJ.
just yeah, yeah, that was kind of. But I think there's a lot of fighters that come from South America and also other countries. Some great fighters I've seen in the past coming up. Some legends and some upcomers. We have here. My man. He says this. I don't want to show it to you. You don't want to see it
Well, I can see the comments where they are.
right here. Where I can see it, but
Oh,
if you have to
wrestling.
see it, yeah.
Well, I did a class of wrestling, and my coach, one of my coaches, Dewey Cooper, shout out to him if he was watching this. He's a legend fighter from kickboxing, multiple world champion. Now he's more than he's 50, but he's still being a tough coach and a tough fighter because he actually really can fight. I joined one time a wrestling class and he was impressed. Like, bro, this is a flow. What the fuck? What are you doing here? You're a boxer. You're not a wrestler. I said, I know, but I can use something from here in boxing. I absorb every discipline, every person that I have contact with. Oh, it's a coach, it's a fighter, in a sparring, in a training that we're sharing. Maybe we're just sharing around. I will absorb something from you because I'm very nerdy.
hmm It's like it's like everybody wants to trade different discipline. Like from boxing to wrestling, BJJ. There's so many different style of fights: karate, kung fu. It's every style is different, but they share some aspects. Especially
Hmm.
as you know, I've interviewed ladies in mixed martial arts, and ladies in bare knuckle. It's a punching from like MMA is different from punching from boxing because I think
Mhm.
you have to be quick and also you have to use more than just your hands. You got to use your elbows, your fists. There's some
Mhm.
fighters that have
We're
crossed
ready
over.
for whatever is coming to, like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. There's some fighters that crossed over there, but then they, it may not work for them. Sometimes you have good stand up, but then if you don't have a complete discipline and everything, it's totally different. My man
Mhm.
has a question. He says this. He says, "How many knockouts you gave or received? So what's your record like? What's your knockouts out?"
Well, I actually in my profile I never knocked somebody. I just there to win. I don't want. I'm actually I know I can do damage. You can see all my fights, but I choose not. I will leave my the damage for the big stage. Let's say because I'm just fighting 1 round, 2 rounds right now with the league. I have 27 fights with them, which I lost five. In my amateur career, I have 40 wins, one loss, and two draws. I never been knocked out. That's the truth. Never. I actually have a pretty great defense because I believe that I don't want to receive brain damage. If I'm gonna receive brain damage, it's because someone is really more than greater than me. Um, I'm a truly believer about the defense. Defense first, offense second. You know. Well, if you look at myself, if you look my style, you will kind of understand a little bit more what I'm trying to say. I always get there. I see them, I can hurt them, but I choose not because I will fuck you up. I decide not because like
Hey,
why,
hey,
right? You just want to
yeah,
win, and
it's
go home happy with your family,
yeah.
and I go. And we both get paid, and it's fine. But if you disrespect me, I will. Oh my goodness, because that
Uh,
happened before.
I remember one of my favorite fighters is Mike Tyson. He says, "I just want to fight. It just bust the guy up. I thought I wanted to fight. I love Mike. His last fight, I was kind of disappointed. He could have beat Jake Paul. Man, that come on. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care what somebody say. Yes, he's almost 60, but this man has fought most of his life. Even if Jake Paul is
Mhm.
younger than him, there's some parts. If you watch the fight, he kind of checked some of his punches. He could have knocked that boy's head off. I honestly
Yeah.
believe that. We
Yeah,
have
he
a
could.
hmm
He
we
has
have
some chances.
yeah, we have a comment here for somebody you might know. This is Bradley Coleman says, "I heard she had a crush on Justin Bieber. Is that true?"
That's 1000% true.
And I'm not into he's
Shout out to
yeah.
Bradley. Bradley's my husband. He's watching the interview.
Oh, that's your man.
That's my husband. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Bradley, sir. Sir, I'm a Southern gentleman. I want to tell you, I appreciate the time that your woman let us talk to her. I want to say, I appreciate your time, sir. You have a pretty woman, and a lot of guys really hit on here, but here, folks, we're gonna do this while we have here and Brad's here. We're gonna jump into her social media for a bit. Follow her on IG. Guys, same thing when I say about when I make interviews with ladies in the female body world. Same thing they do with ladies. And just in combat sports world, guys, no strange shit, no D pics. Stop it. Don't do it. That's it. Women don't like that shit. Brad don't like that. She's wife. I don't want to hear Brad beating a man in the middle of the street over his woman. Plus, she can knock y'all the hell out.
I
She
can
can
knock
bust
you
you up.
out,
She
but
can
I'm
bust
just
you up.
not.
Bust you like Apollo Creed, like you spitting the blood. So we're gonna jump into her social media for a bit, guys. You want to follow her? Links in the description. You want to support her in upcoming fights? Let her know because these ladies most definitely need support. So here we are, and here's some pictures of her modeling stuff.
Hmm. I'm a fit
Wow.
model.
Yeah, she's a fit model. Like she got Brad, you're a lucky man. I mean,
Brad
wow.
is my fashionist. He's the one who dressed me for my photo shoots and everything.
Yeah,
So
oh, wow.
he's a good
Brad, you
guy.
have you have a
He
gift,
has some
Brad.
taste.
Yes, you got a man pissed. And here she is with Dean Cain, formerly Superman. Not a big fan of him anymore. Never was a big fan before. And here she is. Who's this person here that y'all in
She's my friend.
between?
We trained together. Oh, he was an actor too. So we did a scene for a movie, and this guy was the one who go pay a drug dealer or something like this. So I
Yeah.
did as a security, a bodyguard in the scene.
So you think about you want to be interested in doing acting as a side?
I love, yeah. I'm an artist, I like to paint, I like to dance, I like to think, I like to act, I like to model. So I'm truly open to everything. Um, I truly believe that I can do all what I decide to do.
Yeah, I think you're a woman of versatility. Here she is
Mm-hmm.
with this was one of your fights here.
That's my last fight. Yeah, that was a great fight. This girl was doing her pro debut there, but she actually is a badass in MMA. She been knocking bitches out so bad.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. Like I said again, a lot of ladies are transferred between MMA and boxing because it's about opportunity. Sometimes there's a few
Mhm.
opportunities for fights, depending what league you're in. There's one league called Invicta, which is solely a all women's fight league, and they have recruited women for the UFC. You know, and they also they actually, and I think sometimes they're in Oklahoma, but they go to different. She did a little shake like a classic Mayweather. I know you met
Yeah.
Floyd.
Yeah,
That's a
he's one of
legend.
my favorite fighters. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah,
I actually believe in IQ is everything, and that I got it from him too.
yeah. I mean, and here's another picture. Oh my God! If I tell you love, you have a beautiful body. We hold it against me.
No, you see, I look like a bodybuilder,
Yeah,
some
you kind of.
genetics there.
Yeah, I think you could possibly, if you think about it, maybe there's wellness because that's very popular. That came from Brazil or
Mm-hmm.
bikini. I mean, you have a great physique. I mean, I'm telling you, I've seen some quite a few ladies in the fight game and also in MMA game had great muscle density. Like look at somebody Kayla Harris, right now,
Mm-hmm.
who's the current 145 champion UFC. Even though she's not a bodybuilder, she does have those great muscle developments and great definitions. Um, here she is right here. This was you and your opponent
Mm-hmm.
facing off.
Was
What
big,
do you
bro.
yeah. What do you enjoy about the face offs?
I'm sorry, can you repeat what I say?
Or say, what do you enjoy about the face offs?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Um, I love that part because I can see them on the face and just enjoy the moment, and you can see sometimes the fear, the nervousness, the anxiety. I can feel it all, and I always pretty neutral because I did that so many times. It's like I enjoy every part of it.
And here she is. She's doing a little training. And who's this gentleman here? Your coach?
This was no, I met her for the first time that day, and we got some work. He's from Mexico, and he has some good women's fighters in Mexico and amateur. And he gave me some tips, and I had to take advantage of that training with him because he really has some good things to teach me to implement in my style. You see, he's showing me there how to go to the body like with in a different mood, not just with my arm, but all my whole body.
Yeah, I think one thing some fighters forget that they spend too much time trying to go for their head. Kind of like it's not
Hmm.
like you're not like your Thanos going after Thanos and say you should get for the head. You have to work the body, everything, like especially attack the lungs, the kidneys. I mean, she got some great bicep pose right there, guys. That's for you guys who are smos who love female muscle. What's your training regimen like during the week?
Everyday boxing, my regular boxing training, I have 2 days of conditioning where I run more, and my other 2 days of conditioning, I lift some weights. Very specific to boxing and very basic exercises, the fundamentals, let's say. Um, Let me tell you something about myself. I did preparation because I took a break from boxing like 4 or 5 years ago because I wasn't happy in my country how things were going on, and I was ready to compete in bodybuilding. So actually, if you keep going down or whatever, you can see some things that I did from my preparation. I was ready to compete in wellness, and I came back to boxing. But after boxing, I'll be there, Mr. Olympia. I promise.
Well, like I said, Mr. Olympia is one of the biggest shows. Also, if you ever think about this, there's one show is also just as big as Olympia is the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, where
Hmm.
wellness has a place. Also,
Hmm.
they as I do content, there's a new division called fit model. I'm not a fan of it. It's a division that's
Hmm.
it's kind of a throwback to bikini where you don't
Hmm.
have to put as much muscle on and density, but with your physique, I think wellness is good for you. You have the bigger legs, the bigger half. I often say like this: women who do wellness has to have those strong, as this Afro genetics. The more
Hmm.
hips, more waistline. If you're a little leaner, bikini is good for you. If you're a lot more leaner, figure's good for you, but if you have more muscle and more athletic bit, there's physique and also women's bodybuilding. It's the process of developing and growing. We have here, shout out to my man, KL the Wanderer. He says this, he says, uh, would you want to do martial arts eventually?
Well, I'm open to try. One of my coaches, my conditioning coach, he believed that I can do great in MMA. But my other coach is like, no, you are a boxer. So it's that back and forth, you know. Um, I believe that I have to train at least half year to give my best, you know, to adapt to other disciplines. I did fall jiu-jitsu. I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but I just take a time again for boxing, you know. I was doing boxing and jiu-jitsu, boxing and playing handball, boxing and playing soccer. So I've been into all disciplines around me. But boxing was always my basis, let's say. With bodybuilding is something that I love, and I have to always really be careful because I just love to lift weights. But doesn't help me that much in my discipline because I need to do performance, you know. Not that much aesthetics, but I do worry a lot about aesthetics. In MMA, I truly believe I can do I can do well, but I need to train at least half year for it because I'm a strong kicker, but I'm not a natural kicker. You know, I really
Mhm.
don't know how to kick.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to work on those aspects, 'cause especially when you get in the ring.
Mhm.
You gotta be careful. You might get hit by a headshot, some body
Mhm.
shots. Anything can do to you. And also with bodybuilding, it's about more presentation than performance. And a
Mhm.
fighter, you don't need that much muscle mass. It can slow you down because it can take a lot of energy and oxygen to keep your body going. So, like
Mhm.
I said, the box is good for you for right now. And then if things slow down and then it's not much, then you can jump over the bodybuilding when you're ready. So here we
Mhm.
got here a comment from a man. He's always picking on me. It says, let Brad say it, make it all that noise. Know why? Because I'll tell you why. Because I built this shit. Me brick by brick. I don't need another man tell me what I need to do. So there you go. Also, he says this, he says, I like her agility. Yeah, she got some good moves. Also, he says, yeah, she looked like she could get into bodybuilding. That's a possibility. And also, he says, he says, how often do you work on your footwork? So, what's the training when you do your footwork?
Well, planning. I don't really have a schedule for footwork, but I try to do it every day when I'm warming up with my jump rope. I try to move around with my jump rope. You know that coordination between my hands and my legs. So I'm like going like side to side, run to the front, run to the back. I always training my footwork. When I'm shadow boxing, I like to do things more creative unless keeping my form, you know. I try to just experiment things, and especially after before sparring. That I did today. I worked my footwork for 3 rounds, like not worrying too much about my hands, just my feet, where they are. When I'm walking in the ring, how far I am from my right corner, my left corner, you know, knowing my space. But I actually give a little touch to my footwork every day because it's very important, you know. Days that I actually very tired for my upper body, I just do footwork with the stairs, with the cones, with barriers, with different things. But the little touch and the footwork is every day because I do believe you in boxing you do not fight just with your hands. It's like two hands and 2 feet, you know. Yeah, and you
Hmm.
have to be connected with that.
Yeah, I know stairs can be a problem because I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I can't move like I used to. But yeah, it's important to work on everything as a fighter to make those improvements, to work on building a good base as you grow in this path. Now, who's your coach and how long y'all been together?
I've been with him for 3 years, especially with this league. Um, but I now actually start training with them 100% this year in February. Because in the league that I am right now, we fight March or August every year. This is the third year that I'm fighting with them. Since the beginning, let's say. Um, so I'm been training with them every year, 4 or 5 months with them, and then I go back with my coach, you know, my pro career, let's say. But this year I decided to move with them because somehow I'm with them half year, and the other half year I have to go with another person. I say no, just let me stay here with them, and I'm being with them for 3 years, but actually 100% with them since February.
Yeah, that's really good. It's good to have a relationship with your coach. Someone
Hmm.
who understands all the factors of a fighter. Someone understands how you move, how you work, your training regimen. Sometimes, relationships can change during the fight game, but as long as you have people like your husband here in your corner who says this. Shout out to Brad. Thank you for sticking in here, a young man. He says 0 day off, 0 days
Yeah.
off, and yeah, that's the thing is he's there. Does he ever come to the gym with you? Ever he hold a heavy bag, or or he's just a
No,
designer?
no, Brad, no. He doesn't. He's not. He is just kind of understanding what boxing it is. He was a Muay Thai fighter when he were young. So when look at this funny thing, I took him to the gym the 4th of July, and poor Brad, he broke his foot. So now until a month or 2 months more, he can go to the gym. Um, yeah, I so feel so bad because I was so excited, like, bro, my husband is coming with me to the gym finally. And he go to the gym and he broke his foot at the gym. Poor Brad. And now, well, I'm waiting until he gets better till he go again with me.
Poor Brad boy,
Uh,
it's tough. You go there with your baby, son, come with your baby and say, "Oh shit, my foot." But
he
it's
broke
like
his foot so bad.
but I bet you babying him, you taking care of him,
Oh yeah, I don't have no choice because he's being a handicap right now. He can barely move, so I have to be there.
Well, that's the thing is about relationships. I've never been married. I've been a bachelor. Call me Bruce Wayne without the billionaires and the Batman. And it's good that you have somebody like that. What about your family? Are y'all still in contact? And they've ever come to see your fights? When you're
My
coming up.
family, your way. Um, we talk every day. I cannot be a day without talking with them because somehow what got me here is the love and the passion and like just to feel better and make myself better and have a better life so I can help them. Because willing or not, looking for the biggest stages and big opportunities will make my life better. If my life is better, whoever is around me and supporting me will get better with me. That's what I truly believe. I talk to them every day. They are there every day to watch my fight, every time to watch my fights. Now they probably are watching the interview, but most of them doesn't speak English, but they are there. Um, my family, I hope my mom can come this for Christmas or my birthday or something like that. But God willing, I'll be there in my country next year. It's so many commitments, with boxing.